Welcome back to another episode of Look What Jess Found. Today is episode 225, and I haven't done an intro. It's got to be at least a month, if not more, maybe a couple months. And I'm going to start. We're going to do a special video, maybe even a series. So if you see part 1 in the title, then it's a series. But I'll figure it out as I go along. So we have a new member, and I want to welcome Ter. Okay. Now, obviously, all the subscribers are visible. All the members are visible. Like if you look into the channel, you see members, and I believe it shows who the members are. If anyone's interested, I think it does. At 8 members, a special bar comes up, and it shows randomly. It'll show 8 members. So if there's only 8 members, it shows the 8 members, and then after that, it becomes random. 9 members, 10 members, whatever. So this video is dedicated to Ter. If I forget, just remind me. Eric from keeneEyeCollectables and Otis and Sandra and Shelia remind me all the time. When I make a mistake, if I forget, just give me a reminder and I'll do it. So without further ado, we're gonna go back to these are my special penny rolls. I was gonna save them, but this is that special occasion. I really like when I get new members. It really shows that the channel is progressing and that people enjoy the oh my goodness. Let me tell you, if this is all copper, that will be amazing. I can't believe that this is all copper. Some of these have to be. I mean, they don't have to be, but I think some of these are zincs. I mean, they're so bright. I mean, we'll find out in a minute. All right. But look at these. These, let me tell you, I am so happy and thrilled that I got these pennies. Let me give it the smell test. It's so funny that the basement mold smell is leaving it. Probably getting absorbed into it's drying up, right? Because my house is dry. I have dehumidifiers and air conditionings, to keep the house less humid. And whoever these belong to, they must have just brought them to the bank like within the day or two that I got there. Excuse me, I got my water here. And I remember smelling them. They smelled so much. And I was throwing them out because they smelled so moldy. I didn't even realize that, with the less humidity, that the mold smell would actually go away, because these are great, strong. And I'll use these now for to put zinc. I'll use these for zincs because those are going back. I won't put other pennies in the coppers in it, because it does still have a certain scent to it. But I'll put them with the zincs because those go back to the bank. Okay, so here we go, Tara. Thank you very much. I saw that you already left comments this morning, and I really appreciate that. Now you're gonna see what a beauty already. This is an AU condition. So we already have an AU copper. Now the next ones, wow. 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 Holy moly. Holy moly, man. And see, to me, and until somebody proves me wrong or something, but I believe that those little streaks are are zinc. I believe that. I could be wrong. I mean, unless someone shows me like a what's that called? A reference, with a link. But I always thought that those were zinc because it doesn't look like it's something else. Anyway, let's see. Let's look at this. This is unbelievable. So this is a BU. This is a mint state penny. So someone asked me the other day, what's mint state? Now remember, when I say mint state, I'm making a guess, right? Based on an educated guess. Just based on I have years of experience with coins and coin collecting, and I've graded some coins and bought a lot of graded coins. So I know pretty much what a mint state penny looks like. To me, this is like an MS. I want to say 64. Maybe 63. It could be higher. I'm not sure. But that's incredible, man. So I don't get it, man. I don't understand. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Like those discolorations in there. That's not, I don't think that's from, I don't know. Remember, we're talking about a penny. You know how small that is? I mean, it's almost unseeable. It's almost unseeable. I got this now. So this is, by the way, I'll make this a very special episode just for Tara. This is a sewing awl. I think the L is silent. A sewing awl. That they used in the 1800s. People still might, the Quakers probably still use it. I don't know. Anyway, so I have my little pointer here now because people always say, use a pointer. But, it has to be something that can't, wood. It's not going to damage the copper. Anyway, so it's an 82 large date. See, to me, these little spots there, they're not from microscopic drops or from erosion. That's the zinc. That's what I think, anyway. I could be wrong. There's a 5% zinc in copper pennies. And I guess the mixture has to be correct. Otherwise, it's going to show through. But what a beauty, man. I'm actually going to put that. See, an 82 in this condition, I'm going to keep to the side. I'm not going to put it into the, even though it's an MS condition, I'm not going to put it into the MS rolls. If you understand what I just said there, which you probably don't, but whatever. Wow. This one has like a goldish tone to it. These are incredible. These are all MS condition pennies so far. Except for the first one. I think I put this one into the AU pile. Yeah, this is AU. It's probably like an AU 55 or something like that. Low AU, but it's still AU. Oh, and look at this. We have a nice... Oh, I like this little pointed thing. I'm going to keep it around. I think I have another one around too. Maybe like as a spare, but I probably won't need a spare. Probably won't break. So this is the collar holds the penny in place. And so it's a collar error. It's also misaligned die. So that's part of the, so it's a collar error. It's misaligned die. It's mint state. This is incredible, man. So people sometimes I'm going to have to put these to the side, man. They're too wicked. Even for the MS, there's another misaligned die, 1980, mint state. Now, some people get a little triggered. It has, you see the line there? That's the die clash. Look at this. Look at this, Ted. For your first, so obviously I don't dedicate videos every day. I acknowledge, first of all, second of all, third of all, just so you know, I know I tell people this, but I don't think people look through my, let me see if I can show you this. So this is a video, right? Here's a video. This is the last video I did, 224. We're doing 225, right? Now, since it was yesterday's video, Tara's name isn't here, right? But in the let me see. Let me go to. But there is one video I did put up, right? A members only video. Let me go to, where is it at? Yesterday was the 20th, right? So here, and you can see it, right? I have since changed this to put AKA TER, Terror, because that's what he must be called. It's Terror. So I put the AKA there. But in the description, see, it says description, right? That's the title. That's the description. In the description, all the channel members are there. I just want to show that for because I know some people just don't know that, and that's fine. So when we get a new member, I do a special video for them. I do a members only video for them, and then I do the first video of the next day. Unless it's in the morning, then I will dedicate that video to them also. So that is the die clash. Let me get a little closer. That's the die clash right there, right? Now, Eric from keeneEyeCollectables, he's our first member. He taught me this. He said, turn the and everybody should go and subscribe to his channel. In the description that I just showed you, it has his just put keeneEyeCollectables and it'll take you to his into the YouTube search and you'll find it. And subscribe to his channel. He does these great live videos. And if any of my other members are doing any coin related videos, let me know and I'll shout you out also. So this is the head, right? And look, you got a little something going on here. So this is a weak die clash, right? It's only showing the right side of Lincoln's portrait. But this is where his head would be. And then on the other side, that's the good, those are the real good die clashes, are the ones where on the other side, you'll see the reverse. I found a couple like that. I haven't found one in a while, but this is still a beauty. And it does have a weak die clash, so I will put it there. And I'll keep the little awe on the desk. Wow. See, I'm not going to clean this one up, so I'll just put it in the still an MS condition penny. But I think that's whatever, something on it. I don't know if that's, look at that, it has also has a collar error. You can see here on the top. I'll put it into the AUs. They can get one like that. That's not a big deal. So, pennies like this, right? All right. So 1975. Are there any? Do you see any errors? All right. There's a little bit of the the collar error here. See how flat the rim is, and then it actually goes into almost like a railroad rim, partial railroad rim. It's a very weak error. It doesn't add value, but this penny is, again, it's like MS 74, 64 condition. So what does, let me see. Oh, some people just sell them as BU. They just put BU. Let's go to, let me just put in penny, MS condition. I'm going to put copper just to see what comes up. All right, we got a bunch of them. Let's go lowest first. This is just to show you why people are selling. All right. You see it? Oh, some of these are wheats, though. Those are wheats. All right, here goes a 61D. for example. All right, so if you want, so it's $1, right? But obviously it's not really $1 because it's $1 plus 5 something. So they could have made this $6.35 free shipping. So irregardless, you're talking about each one of these pennies in this condition, right? Because look at this condition, right? And I get it's a 61D and these are 75s or whatever. You know, the minimum that these would be is $1 plus shipping, right? Or if you wanted to buy one, it would be $6, $7 for this penny right here. So that's just to show you how incredible it is just to find one of these in a penny roll. Now, if you have, let's say you have thousands of them, right? You have thousands of these, right? Because I do MS rolls, right? Here goes my, right? Here's my B. These are going to go, these pennies are going to go into my MS rolls, right? So if I show you some, these are from the previous videos, right? So when this roll is filled, there's going to be 50 pennies in here. So at some point in the future, let's say they cost $2 plus shipping or $3 plus shipping, and they got 50. You're talking about $150 to $300 per MS roll. Now, excuse my squeaky chair. But that's incredible, and you know that's the bottom line. That's super duper. These pennies here are super incredible. All right, this one has some damage on it. It's misaligned, dyed. I put it into the AU roll because I know it won't grade it won't grade MS because of the condition. 64. Huh. All right, let's take a look because I know there's some of these pennies that you see have these. Well, I got my awl now, so I can do my pointing thing. That are like these older wheat cents. For some reason, well, I shouldn't say for some reason. Like, all right, so this is so the 60s, right? They look a little bit different than the 70s. I guess that's where I was going with this. They like refine the process in the 70s. Like the 60s, they look a little bulbous, you know, and I guess that's where a lot of the errors come from. Is there, you know, they just did things differently back then. But you have to check these really well to see if there's an error. All right. That looks like a spike. You see through the E? I'm going to say it doesn't add value, but it's good to notice the spike. And you can see it goes a line straight through. Now, could that be a strike through, like a piece of metal filing? Because you can see it goes through the E, and that I don't usually see. That I don't usually see it going through the letter like that. Let me look at that under the loop. Now, I think that's post-mint damage. Now that I looked at it under the loop. I don't think it's a spike. Oh, look at the T. Yeah, I think that's all post-mint damage. All right, so we got a 64. I'll put that into the fine. That's a fine penny. That's a fine-looking penny. Another MS condition penny. Maybe low MS, high AU. I'll still put it in with the MS. It's just too brilliant to put into the AU pile. Look at this, 72. I hope those ladies see the. Oh, let me say thank you. Also, someone bought me a coffee. This is a nice misaligned die. Both sides? Both sides? No. That's a nice misaligned die. We found one before. I'm going to put it with the other one. Someone bought me a coffee yesterday. Let me say thank you to them. See, it's unless it was a member, which um, I don't think it was a member because you see the name. And buy me a coffee, you can see the person's not their real name. You know what I mean? You can see I think you see their YouTube name, something like that. You know what? I really don't know how it works. 69, no floating roof. But someone bought me a coffee and they put their name as someone. So I've seen that name before, names like that on YouTube where it goes someone, someone one, someone two, whatever. But they're not going to be able to see my thing. I did say thank you in the buy me a coffee. I can do a reply, right? So Otis bought me a coffee, and I replied to him. I said thank you, and hopefully I should say God bless and all that. Sometimes I think it was late at night that I saw it, but that's no excuse. Another MS condition penny. There's so many MS condition pennies here. It's ridiculous. But that person who bought me a coffee will not be able to see my thank you on a video. Like I'm saying thank you to him now. Thank you, someone, quote unquote, someone. That was his name or her name. Um, hmm. See those little marks? I don't know if I want to put this into the MS because I know that's damage. I'm going to put that into the AU just because of the damage there. AU pile. So you have piles, right? That's the MS pile. That's the one we just found. That's the AU pile. That's the fine pile. And then anything that's like really heavily circulated, I put into another roll. So that person will not be able to see my thank you video until they watch this, unless they're a member, and that was like a disguised name or something like that. But most likely it's not. They're not going to be able to see the thank you until it's up until it's scheduled. My members get to see the thank you, right? Tarek gets to see me say thank you to someone who bought me a coffee because you're a member now. There's a little die clash. See see I know what they are and where they are already. So my eye is trained to go there. But that's the die clash, right? So there would be, you turn it around, and that's the die clash of Lincoln, and his head would be here. So sometimes you'll see it here, and then you'll see it here, right? The other side of the penny. Sometimes it goes through the stairs. So it's very weak. It doesn't add any value. It's a very weak die clash, unless it's a special variety, right? Which you would have to know about that. And honestly, I've never heard of it, so usually someone will point it out. I start another little pile there for the MS pennies. Another 64. And you got to check these 60s out real close, man. Look at the N. Let me look at that under the loop. So the other day, someone left a message, and I left the message up. He wasn't super disrespectful or anything, just more, I don't know, just the way he came across was like, I've been doing this for so long, and I never heard of that term, deteriorated die, because I use that term quite often, deteriorated die, and I'm going to show you right now, right? Because what you want to do, right? What I want to do, right? So this is what I do. You do what you do, I do what I do, and so, for example, in this penny, it does look like it has a lamination error. Some of the elements, right? Some of the elements. some of the elements have wear, right? So it's from the die, right? The die, after striking thousands of pennies, planchets, the die gets deteriorated. And as a result, excuse me here. I'm just looking up. I'm going to the website. It's down below. I have the website down below, but I'll tell you anyway what it is. Glossary. I think is it Konica? I think it's Konica, Glossary of Errors. I have it down below. All right. So I say deteriorated die, like shorthand. You know what shorthand is? Shorthand is when you shorten a bunch of words to make it quicker, right? So it's really called die deterioration doubling, DDD, right? So instead of me saying every time, oh, I don't know if this has die deterioration doubling, I say deteriorated die. You know, so you have to, I guess you have to understand my lingo, right? So let me show you. All right, so KonicaOnline.org, glossary errors. The link is below. Die deterioration doubling. And they give an example here. Hey, you could, if you want to pause it, you want to read it, here, you can read it right here. That's the, so the person said they never heard of deteriorated die. So I just call it deteriorated die, meaning that the die is deteriorated and it caused doubling. So I maybe I shouldn't expect people to understand that, but you know, this is going to be, unless I do a special video, I'm not going to say die deterioration doubling every time I see a deteriorated die. Okay, so this is it. They even have an example here that they're saying that these little marks here, that's not even a double die in this case, I'm saying. Right, and it should say below courtesy. See, and it says DDD, die deterioration doubling, or deteriorated die doubling, whatever. It's the same thing. And you see it's in the two, especially in the earlier zinc cents. Oh, that's 25 cents. Oh, so this isn't a quarter. So they're saying this isn't even a double die, which of course, if I saw that, I would think it's a double die. Oh, and they're saying maybe this is it too, over here. Anyway, long story short, the person said they never heard of that in 10 years of coin collecting. And that's just to show you that you can be doing something for 10 years. And if you're not doing your research and you're not subscribed to a channel like mine, where I'm trying to learn on a daily basis, then you'll get stuck where you are, you know? So my members correct me all the time and give me advice all the time and show me new things all the time. And I soak it up, you know, because I want to learn. And so that person was being, you know, a little bit sarcastic with me, basically saying I didn't know what I was talking about. And of course, the shoe was really on the other foot. They didn't know what they were talking about, you know, and, you know, this channel is here to help prevent, you know, making errors like that. So when I say just, so I guess I have to, you know, so when I say deteriorated die, I mean die deterioration doubling, right? So if I see something there, for example, this is a good example, 1960. Remember, this is a bronze penny, right? So for example, let's look in here. This is a really good shaped penny, but let's say there's a little bit of, okay, look on the B. Let me get out my little, where's my awe? My awe. Mm-hmm. On the B, there's a little line there. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it there. Let me look at it under the loop. It could be a double die. Oh, it's a little, oh, it has a little dent. It's not a double die. It is a die something, right? So to me, it would be a deteriorated die, right? The die just got some damage after thousands and thousands of punches, hits, hammers, and but it's not a double die. Now they do have identified double dies that are identified, and whether or not, and they'll say that that's not a deteriorated die, that is from the die itself, right? That when they made the die, there was an error in the making of it, and you can see it across all the pennies that it made. They're all the same exact error. So, for example, I did the video yesterday when we went through coppercoins.com a lot, and and a lot of these other Wexler and I think Conacher, a lot of these, and they identify doubling on certain pennies or errors or coins or what have you. And that's because the die was made with the error. But in this case, the die didn't start off that way. It started off perfect. And after thousands and thousands and thousands of strikes, it changed the way the element looked. And it deteriorated. The die deteriorated. And it became a die deteriorated doubling, a DDD. Anyway, that's a super long explanation. But the person again, and this is, this is one of the issues that, and it's a me issue, right? It's not a you issue. It's not even that guy or girl issue. I kind of don't like if someone's going to be sarcastic. To me, it's a little disrespectful. Um, and it's even worse when they don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That just adds to it. Now look at this. Now, wow. Now to me, now what year is this? Is 65. So to me, that looks like a double. Now you have to. This is what I'm learning now, right? So let's look at the overall condition of this penny. It can use a little conservation. But I'm going to say it's in, high AU condition. Oh, look at that. And oh, wow. Let me see that. Oh, wow. So it looks like it has a reverse error. And that I and B is great. Oh, and the G. So now what we have to do, right? So now we found this penny, this older copper penny, and it has certain errors. I've already identified it in the I, B, the G, and obviously the O on the reverse. That's incredible. You can see the bar. You can literally see the bar. That's a beautiful example of something. So let's go to copper coins. All right. Now, I don't think that's deteriorated die, right? Because to me it looks like a double die. But if no one has identified this coin, right? Now, does that mean it could be a coin that no one's ever identified and I'm the first one and I found it? Yeah, that's possible, but highly unlikely. So instead of me, going into fantasy world, what I do is, so let's go to, okay, so, all right, let me take off the light. We'll do this together, okay? All right, we'll do it together. Go to home. I think this is where there's a place over here. Die variety search. Yeah, Otis taught me this. Otis is one of our members. He taught me. I mean, I didn't even know, was it right? How do you know what you can click and when you can't? Obviously, it's a different color, right? But I didn't realize that. Okay, then we're gonna put here. So we're looking for. So here I'm gonna put. I'm holding this thing up. I'm gonna put 1965, 1965, Philadelphia, and then I'm going to check all these boxes, and then we'll come back. All right, so let me do that. 1965 until, right, what's the penny? It's a Philadelphia. 19, and I don't usually do all of this in every video. Look at this. We're doing one. I'm not even halfway through with this roll. You know what? This is the problem. All right, I'm going to finish this thought off in this video, and then I'm going to have to come, because we still have a half a row to go, and it's too much. It's too much for one video. And we're going to look for double die on obverse, double die on reverse. I'm not going to do the north, east, west, south, K this, class that. I'm not doing none of that. Okay, and I'm going to hit submit. There were no items selected. Okay, I went back. 1965 until 1965, Philadelphia. Submit search. There were no, submit a new search. There were no items selected. Okay. Okay, so I don't see it there. So this is the other way to do it. You go to Lincoln. I'll show you again. The other way to do it is go to Lincoln Sent, date guide, 1965, and then you got all the stuff up here. Okay, so that's what I did in the previous video. So let's go to 65p DO. Oh, that's why I said there's not, they don't have any. Yeesh. Okay. Specific notes about this year's cents. High grade photos. Oh, wow. If you have a 1965p double die obverse that is not listed here, I'd like to see it included. I'm not going through all that. Oh, so that's why nothing came up in the search, because he doesn't have any. Oh boy. So maybe you can see it really good in the G. And that's incredible. Anyway, so that's just the way the cookie crumbles, nothing came up. I would have. So anyway, we're gonna end. This is gonna be part one to this one roll, which I think this is a first, and I think it's because I'm talking so much. I'm using I'm saying so. Welcome and thank you, Tara, for being our new member. Come back to episode 226, part 2, and we're gonna finish off. It's just too much for one video. All right, and God bless, and I'll see you in episode 226.